ang tunay na pangalan ng mga tao, lugar at organisasyon na may kaugnay sa liham na tampok sa palabas na ito ay pinilitan at binago. Ang anumang pagkakahoy ng mga bagong pangalan sa aktwal na tao, lugar o organisasyon ay hindi sinasadya at nagkataon lamang.
Magandang araw mga consumer! Ngayong linggo sa Dear Consumer Care, isang liham na naman ang sasagutin natin at ang ating pag-uusapan ay patungkol sa No Return, No Exchange Policy. Ito ay isa sa pinakamaraming tanong na ating natatanggap sa consumer care. Kaya ngayong araw, ating sasagutin ang sulat mula kay Binibining Mulya. Dear Consumer Care, magtatanong lang po sana ako. Nagkamali po ako ng bili ng isang item sa isang store. Noong magre-request po sana ako para palitan ng item, ang sabi ng customer service ay nagpapatupad daw ang DTI ng No Return, No Exchange Policy. Totoo po bang ipinatutupad nyo ito? As a customer, minsan po talaga ay nagkakamali kami ng aming pagbili. Maraming salamat po. At para sagutin ang katanungan ni Binibining Mulya, kasama natin ngayon ang Assistant Director ng Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau na si Attorney Cheryl Carbonet. Magandang araw po, Attorney Che.
Magandang araw din sa iyo, Dens, at sa ating mga consumers.
Attorney Che, maaari niyo po bang bigyang linaw kung ano itong No Return, No Exchange Policy na ipinatutupad daw po ng DTI?
Linawin ko lamang, Dens, ang No Return, No Exchange ay hindi ipinapatupad ng DTI. In fact, ito ay ipinagbabawal sa ilalim ng Consumer Act of the Philippines o RA 7394. Ayon sa batas, bawal na ilagay or isulat ang no return, no exchange sa alinmang resibo o sa alinmang area ng tindahan o anumang dokumento na napapatunay ng bentahan.
Bawal po pala ito. Bakit nga po ba ipinagbabawal ang paglalagay ng no return, no exchange sa mga resibo o kahit anong dokumento na nagpapatunay ng bentahan?
Ito ay dahil lumalabag ito sa karapatan ng consumer na maipasaayos, mapalitan o ibalik ang ibinayad kung ang nabiling produkto ay may sira o depekto. Kung naalala mo yung ating 3 R's, repair, replace, at saka refund.
Paano naman po kung nagbago talaga ang isip ng consumer? O hindi naman kaya nagkamali talaga sa pagbili? Hindi na po ba talaga ito pwedeng papalitan?
Ang pagbabago ng isip ng isang consumer o ang kanyang pagkakamali ay hindi wastong dahilan para mapalitan ang produkto o kaya ay makakuha ng refund. Subalit, may mga seller na pumapayag na magpalit kung sakaling nagkamali ang consumer o nagbago ito ng isip. At ito ay ayon na lamang sa goodwill o sa liberality ng seller sa kanyang consumer.
Paano po kung ito ay aking ipangreregalo lang at hindi ko naman po alam ang tamang size ng aking pagbibigyan? Paano po kaya ang pwedeng gawin?
Makabubuting sabihin mo ito sa tindahan at alamin ang kanilang return and exchange policy.
Kaya mga consumer, tandaan na bawal po ang no return, no exchange policy. Kailangan meron tayong karapatan na maipagawa, mapapalitan ng produkto o may refund ng perang ibinayad natin sakaling may depekto o sira ang ating nabili. Subalit, amin po kayong pinapaalalahanan na bago bili ng produkto ay siguraduhin na ito ang produktong nais bilhin dahil hindi sapat na dahilan ng pagbabago ng isip o pagkakamali sa ating pagpili. Makabubuti rin pong itanong sa seller ang kanilang return or exchange policy. Maraming salamat po, Attorney Che. At yan ang kabuuan ng ating programa sa araw na ito. Paalala lamang po na ang impormasyong aming naibigay ay base lamang sa aming natanggap na salaysay at mga pangyayari na inilahad ni Binibining Mulya. Abangan muli ang Dear Consumer Care sa susunod na linggo. Ito po si Denzel Bonal na nagsasabing, wise ang consumer na may alam. Para sa updates, please like, follow, subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube accounts. That's DTI-Consumer Care and DTI Philippines.
tunay na pangalan ng mga tao, lugar at organisasyon na may kaugnay sa liham na tampok sa palabas na ito ay pinilitan at binago. Ang anumang pagkakahawig ng mga bagong pangalan sa aktwal na tao, lugar o organisasyon ay hindi sinasadya at nagkataon lamang.
Magandang araw mga consumer! Welcome sa programang Dear Consumer Care kung saan isang katanungan na naman ang ating sasagutin ngayong linggo. Ikaw ba ay nabiktima na ng mapanlinlang na gawain na may kinalaman sa pagbebenta? Samahan niyo kami at ating sagutin ang liham mula kay Ginoong Anderson. Dear Consumer Care, bumili ako ng 3 bote ng Appleton Estate 12-year rare Jamaican rum sa isang online platform. Ngunit mababang klase ng alak ang i-deliver sa akin ng seller. Hindi ito ang alak na aking in-order at binayaran. Hindi rin tinanggap ang request kong i-return ang produkto at mag-refund na lamang. Ano po ang dapat kong gawin? At para sagutin ang katanungan ni Ginoong Anderson, kasama natin ngayon si Ms. Werlyn Reyes-Lim ng Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau. Magandang araw po, Ms. Werlyn.
Magandang araw sa iyo, Dens, at sa ating mga consumers na patuloy na nakasubaybay sa Dear Consumer Care.
Ms. Werl, ano po bang masasabi niyo sa kwento ni Mr. Anderson?
Naku, Dens, ayon sa salaysay ni Ginoong Anderson, masasabi ko na may paglabag ang seller sa Article 50 o Deceptive Sales Act sa Consumer Act of the Philippines. Ayon sa batas na ito, ang Deceptive Sales Acts and Practices o ang tinatawag nating mapagdinlang na gawain ng isang seller or supplier ay labag sa batas kahit nito ay nangyari bago, habang o pagkatapos ng isang transaksyon.
Maaari niyo po bang ipaliwanag sa amin kung ano ang deceptive o mapanlinlang na gawain?
Itinuturing na mapanlinlang ang isang gawain kapag ang producer, tagagawa, supplier, o nagbibenta ay naghihikayat sa isang mamimili na pumasok sa isang transaksyon sa pagbibenta o pag-upa ng anumang produkto o serbisyo ng consumer sa pamamagitan ng pagtatago ng importanteng impormasyon, maling representasyon, o mapanlinlang na pagmamanipula. Sa kaso ni Ginoong Anderson, ang representasyon ng seller na ang kanyang binibenta sa platform ay Appleton Estate 12-year rare Jamaican rum, subalit hindi naman pala ay matuturing na isang Deceptive Sales Act.
Para po sa sitwasyon ni Ginoong Anderson, ano po kaya ang maaari niyang gawin?
Sa mga ganitong pagkakataon, ang mamimili o consumer ay maaaring tumangging tanggapin ang produkto at maaaring kansilahin ang kontrata. Kung sakaling ang produkto ay natanggap na, maaaring ibalik ang mga ito at bawiin o refund ang ibinayad ng consumer.
Paano naman po kung ayaw magbigay ng refund ng seller at kung ayaw tanggapin ang pagbalik ng produkto?
Maaaring mag-file ng complaint o i-report lamang sa DTI Provincial or Regional Office sa inyong lugar o mag-email sa Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau. Ang proseso ng pag-file ng complaint ay makikita rin sa DTI website or www.dti.gov.ph.
Kaya mga consumer, siguraduhin na tama ang binibiling produkto. Tingnan ng reviews bago bumili, lalo sa mga online platform, at bumili lamang sa mga mapagkakatiwalaan na tindahan. Para naman sa ating mga seller, tandaan na labag sa batas ang mapanlinlang na gawain o pagbebenta. Maraming salamat, Ms. Werl. At yan ang kabuuan ng ating programa sa araw na ito. Paalala lamang po na ang impormasyon na aming naibigay ay base lamang sa aming natanggap na salaysay at mga pangyayari na inilahad ni Ginoong Anderson. Abangan muli ang Dear Consumer Care sa susunod na linggo. Ito po si Denzel Bonal na nagsasabing, wais ang consumer na may alam. Para sa updates, please like, follow, subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube accounts. That's DTI Consumer Care and DTI Philippines.
tunay na pangalan ng mga tao, lugar at organisasyon na may kaugnay sa liham na tampok sa palabas na ito ay pinilitan at pinago. Ang anumang pagkakahoy ng mga bagong pangalan sa aktwal na tao, lugar o organisasyon ay hindi sinasadya at nagkataon lamang.
Magandang araw mga consumer! Para sa episode natin ngayong linggo sa Dear Consumer Care, sasagutin natin ang isang liham na aming natanggap mula kay Binibining Lakwin ng Sorsogon. Dear Consumer Care, itatanong ko lamang po kung ano ang maaaring mangyari kung ang presyo ng isang produkto na nakalagay sa shelf tag ay 93 pesos, ngunit pagdating sa counter noong ako ay magbabayad na, ito ay naging 100 pesos and 75 centavos. Ano po ang dapat na masunod na presyo? At para sagutin ang katanungan ni Binibining Lakwin, kasama natin ngayon si Ms. Camille Castillo ng Consumer Advocacy Division ng Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau. Magandang araw po, Ms. Camille.
Magandang araw sa iyo, Dens, at magandang araw po sa ating mga consumers. Bago po tayo magsimula, gusto ko lamang po kayong batiin ng Happy World Consumer Rights Day. Ito po ang araw na pinaiigting natin ng ating mga karapatan bilang consumer.
Bago natin sagutin ang katanungan ni Binibining Lakwin, maaari niyo po bang ipaliwanag kung ano ang price tag?
Ang price tag ayon sa Consumer Act of the Philippines ay isang label na nagsasabi ng presyo ng isang produkto upang mabigyan ang mga mamimili ng sapat na impormasyon at gabay na maihambing ang mga presyo sa ibang produkto.
Saan po ba dapat nakalagay ang price tag? May mga nakikita po ang price tag na hindi naman po nakadikit sa produkto. Pwede po ba yun?
Pwede naman. Pero ayon din sa DTI Administrative Order No. 9, Series of 2002, ang price tag ay dapat na maayos na nakalagay sa shelf o sa estante kung saan nakalagay ang produktong tinutukoy. Dapat ito ay secured upang mabawasan ang maling paglipat, pagtamper o pagkawala. Pwede rin po itong nakadikit sa mismong produkto. Pinapayagan din pong maglagay ng price checker machine, ang tindahan, kung saan pwedeng i-check ng consumer ang presyo ng produkto.
Paano naman po kung ang presyo na nasa shelf tag ay magkaiba sa counter cashier?
Ang mga tindahan ay dapat siguraduhin na ang presyo na nasa shelf o sa estante, sa tag o sa checker ay parehong presyo sa cashier o sa counter.
Ano naman po ang dapat bayaran ng isang consumer kung hindi pareho ang presyo ng nasa shelf, sa tag, sa checker at sa counter?
Sa kaso ng hindi pagkakapare-pareho, katulad na lamang ng experience ni Binibining Lakwin, ang presyo ng pinakamababa ang dapat bayaran ng consumer. Kung sakali naman na hindi pumayag ang tindahan na bayaran ang mas mababang presyo, ay ireklamo na po natin ito sa DTI Provincial or Regional Office sa inyong lugar o mag-email sa Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau. Ang proseso po ng pag-file ng complaint ay makikita rin sa DTI website sa www.dti.gov.ph.
Kaya mga consumer, ugaling tingnan ang presyo ng mga produktong ating binibili. Dapat may price tag ang mga ito. Maraming salamat, Ms. Camille. At yan ang kabuuan ng programa natin sa araw na ito. Paalala lamang po ng impormasyong aming naibigay ay base lamang sa aming natanggap na salaysay at mga pangyayari na inilahad ni Binibining Lakwin. Abangan muli ang Dear Consumer Care sa susunod na linggo. Ito po si Denzel Bonal na nagsasabing wise ang consumer na may alam. Para sa updates, please like, follow, subscribe to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube accounts. That's DTI Consumer Care and DTI Philippines.
Recording in progress.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat and happy Consumer Welfare Month. To all our participants here in Zoom and to everyone joining us via Facebook Live, welcome to our 199th session of the DTI-Consumer Care Webinar Series on the DTI Policy and Pyramiding and Seal of Legitimacy and the 8-point test for multi-level marketing and direct selling companies. You can still invite your friends and colleagues to join this webinar and share the Zoom link. Every year, the country celebrates the Consumer Welfare Month or CWM. Throughout October, we would like to invite everyone to join us in our month-long celebration. You can refer to our CWM calendar on your screens, or you can access it through our DTI Consumer Care social media pages. Our Consumer Care webinar series theme for this month mirrors this year's CWM theme, Sustainable Consumerism in the Digital Age. Before we proceed to our webinar proper, we would like to give some reminders. Unang-una, ang ating webinar session po ay recorded. By continuing your participation in the meeting, you're also consenting that you may be recorded. We are encouraging you to stay at samahan niyo po kami hanggang matapos at sabay-sabay tayong matuto sa topic natin ngayong umaga. Ang mga sumusunod na reminders ay para masiguro na smooth ang ating webinar session. Pakipalitan po ang format ng inyong pangalan, maaaring consumer space full name o di po kaya ay pangalan ng company, then your complete name. Kung masyadong mahaba naman po ang pangalan ng company, kahit acronym na lamang po ang gamitin. Please turn off your mic and video during the webinar session unless you are requested by the moderator to speak. Para sa mga tanong, we are encouraging everyone to click the raise hand button to directly address the speaker during the question and answer portion, or you may send in your questions through the chat box. Lastly, para po sa mga naka-touchscreen device, please avoid drawing or making annotations on the screen para hindi po ma-distract ang ating speaker at iba pang participants. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Ako po si John Robert Malinis from the Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau, and I will be your moderator for today's webinar. Without further ado, let us begin this webinar session by singing the Philippine National Anthem to be followed by the invocation.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Loving Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour asking for your blessing as we are gathered together in this webinar. May your blessings of wisdom and guidance be upon us all for the sharing and impartation of knowledge and skills by our resource speakers, facilitators, and moderators. Bless also the participants so that they would be able to glean the information from this activity and share what we have learned in the spirit of your generosity. Lord, we bring you our prayers, our commitment, our gifts to you this day. Let us who have a keen dedication and awareness of your creation have courage and conviction that we are able to contribute to the sustainability of the earth. Inspire us as we make choices so that we will recognize the impact our lives have on our environment and our human family around the globe. Pour out your blessings upon us today, Lord. May each of our actions reveal our awareness that we are partners with you in the creation and sustainability of this earth that you have given to us to appreciate and enjoy. We ask this in the name of your Son. Amen.
Good morning po ulit. We would like to request our participants to answer our short survey regarding the suggested retail price or SRP. The link will be posted in the chat box or you may refer to your screens for the QR code. Noong nakaraang Martes, nakasama natin ang Center for International Trade Expositions and Missions o ang Anthem. Tinalakay nila ang tungkol sa Sustainability Solutions Exchange Program. Ngayong araw naman, we're discussing ang DTI policy on pyramiding and seal of legitimacy and the 8-point test for multi-level marketing and direct selling companies. DTI hopes to protect the public sa mga illegal na kumpanyang nagpapatakbo ng mga chain distribution plans o yung mga pyramiding scams. To formally start our session for today, I would like to call on the Assistant Director of the Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau, Attorney Cheryl G. Carbonell. Good morning po,
Okay, thank you, Robert. Good morning also, and good morning, everyone, and happy Consumer Welfare Month. And also, let me welcome you po to this 199 Consumer Care webinar. And thank you also to our speakers for today. We have Ma'am Jill Ilicanyo-Tan, the Executive Vice President of Empower Marketing, Inc., one of the member companies of the Direct Selling Association of the Philippines. So DSAP has been our partner since, I think, more than how many years ago, since 2002 pa yata. Of course, we also have our very own from CIPAB, Carlina Baltazar, the Secretariat of the Seal of Legitimacy Evaluation Committee. I also saw earlier si Sir Joey Sarmiento, the chairman of the DSAP. Thank you, sir, for your presence and for gracing this event. So our topic today, as mentioned by Robert, is the DTI-Seal of Legitimacy for multi-purpose, multi-level marketing and direct selling companies, and the 8-point test of the DSAP. So we will discuss, or si Carlina will discuss, how a company engaged in MLM and direct selling can be granted the seal. And paano ba siya nare-retain? Ano ba yung process na pinagdadaanan ng isang kumpanya para makuha yung seal na yan? Paano naman kung halimbawa maka-cancel siya or kaya ay marirevoke? So as a brief background, in 2018, the DTI and the DSAP executed a memorandum of agreement forging a partnership to curtail the prevalence of pyramid scams and to protect the public from fraudulent schemes and devices. So isa po yung pagtatatag ng Seal of Legitimacy sa mga napagkasunduan sa MOA na iyon. So ano ba yung seal na ito? So itong seal na ito, kapag nakita ninyo, ibig sabihin ito yung marketing and compensation plan ng company na yan ay na-evaluate ng DTI at pumasa sa screening ng DTI Seal of Legitimacy Evaluation Committee. So it serves as a guide to the public that the company is engaged in legitimate direct selling and legitimate multi-level marketing scheme, at hindi siya pyramiding. So but let me emphasize na yung pagkuha po ng seal ay voluntary. So hindi namin pinipilit yung mga companies na mag-apply for the seal. At for the companies po, madali lang naman ang mag-apply. Ang nire-require lang naman po namin ay yung mga business documents na meron na kayo to start your business or to operate your business. So having said that naman sa mga consumers at sa mga public in general, ang gusto ko lang pong i-remind sa inyo, if you want to engage in direct selling or multi-level marketing, kung sasali kayo as a side hustle or a full-time occupation, join the companies na merong seal or kaya yung at least member ng DSAP. So you can check sa website ng DSAP yung mga companies na member nila, and soon po ang DTI then will be making available the list of companies granted the seal. No? So with that, as we say sa aming text blast, no, remind ko lang ulit yung ating mga consumers, no? Huwag tayong marupok, no? So kapag may nag-invite sa inyo na mag-join, tanungin nyo muna, no? Meron ba kayong seal of legitimacy? Or kaya, member ba kayo ng DISA? Yun. So, tsaka tayo din, no, mag-isip tayo maigi. Because ang number one skill kasi na kailangan dito ay selling skill. So, i-assess nyo rin yung sarili nyo, do you have that skill? Or can you develop that selling skills na kailangan for direct selling and multi-level marketing? So, yun po. And again, everyone, good morning.
Thank you for that wonderful opening remarks, AD Che. Moving to our main part of our program, we have two capable speakers for today. Our first speaker is Miss Carlina B. Josue. She graduated at the Northwestern University, Lawag City, Ilocos Norte, where she received her bachelor's degree in accountancy. She joined the government with the Department of Trade and Industry on August 1995 as senior bookkeeper. She is one of the consumer policy officers of the Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau. She is responsible for rendering position papers on proposed consumer and business-related bills and the like, formulation of policies and guidelines for the protection of the rights and welfare of our consumers, attends meetings or deliberations on policies or laws, conduct seminars or consumer education activities for various stakeholders. Good morning, Ms. Carl. The virtual floor is now yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Robert, for that introduction. I am tasked to present to you the Department Administrative Order number 21-09, Series of 2021, and it was amended by DAO 22-04, or the guidelines and the grant of the DTI-Seal of Legitimacy. Okay, thank you for that screen sharing. The guidelines and the grant of the DTI-Seal of Legitimacy for legitimate direct selling and multi-level marketing. Next slide, please. DAO 21-09 was issued last December 15, 2021, and it's amended last June 2, 2022. Our legal basis for this DAO. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide, please. The legal basis. Okay, thank you. The legal basis for this DAO is Republic Act number 7394 or the Consumer Act of the Philippines. Untitled 3, Chapter 1 of RA 7394, the provisions on deceptive, unfair, and unconscionable sales acts or practices. Particularly an Article 53, which provides that chain distribution plans or pyramid sales schemes shall not be employed in the sale of consumer products. And also, tulad ng nabanggit kanina, the Memorandum of Agreement which is entered into by the DTI and the DSAB. Establishing the cooperation through programs such as preventing and or addressing issues related to pyramid schemes. And among the areas of collaboration is the creation of a list of companies with the DTI-Seal of Legitimacy. Next, please. Under DAO 21-09, we have the scope, the objective, the terms used are defined, the DTI-Seal of Legitimacy, kung ano ba ito, what are the documentary requirements in applying for the seal, the evaluation process, the factors in evaluating the compensation and marketing plan. And we have also the allowance for corrective action, the processing time or the processing period, and also the reportorial requirements. Under the DAO, we have the evaluation committee and its composition and functions. We have also the periodic and random audit, and the seal can be revoked or cancelled based on the parameters or kung meron mang paglabag yung isang nagranta ng seal at ano yung mga procedure para sa pag-cancel at pag-revoke nito. Also, the unauthorized use of the DTI Seal of Legitimacy, which include the service of notice and the public advisory. And finally, we have the separability clause and the effectivity clause. Next, please. DAO 21-09 applies to any person, natural or juridical, engaged in legitimate direct selling or multi-level marketing that shall voluntarily apply for the seal of legitimacy. Again, ang pag-apply po ng seal of legitimacy or the seal is voluntary. Next, please. The objective of the DAO is to protect the consumers against trade malpractices or incidents of fraud. It also instills quality consciousness among consumers and sellers, to promote practice of fair and responsible business, to uphold product and service excellence, promote compliance with fair trade and consumer protection laws, and to provide access to consumer redress and to ensure that consumers get value for their money. Next, please. So ano ba yung sinasabi natin na seal of legitimacy or the seal? Ito daw ay nagpapakita na ang mga MLM and DS companies na nag-apply sa DTI for the seal is nakapasa sa evaluation na kinandak ng DTI Seal of Legitimacy Evaluation Committee. It is a mark that distinguishes them from those with questionable practices. Ang seal na ito ay hindi siya transferable. It can be used for any purpose. It can be used for purposes na in-approve na evaluation committee. Bilang grantee or recipient ng seal, pwede mong i-display in a conspicuous and visible place in your company or in your landing page and its website para madaling makita ng publiko. It can also be placed in your marketing and advertising materials. And the seal can be revoked or cancelled kung ito man ay merong paglabag na naaayon dito sa policy. Next, please. Let's have an overview of the DTI Seal of Legitimacy process. Una, magfa-file ka ng application and submit the required documents to the evaluation committee or to the SIPAG. And then, they will check the submitted documents. They will assess kung nandoon ba yung mga hinahanap natin na documents. After which, the evaluation committee magkakandak ng assessment. Susulatan po yung applicant to present before the evaluation committee yung kanilang compensation and marketing plan. Or pwede rin, member of the secretariat or the committee pwedeng mag-attend one of the presentation ng applicant company. Usually kasi yung mga MLM and DS companies sa ngayon is nagkakandak sila ng training outside. So pwede rin mag-attend doon si evaluation committee or the secretariat. After the presentation, they will convene for the recommendation. It's either be approved or disapproved. And if approved, mag-i-issue ng seal. And if disapproved, pwedeng mag-call ng another meeting yung evaluation committee. Next, please. The business process. Dito sa business process natin to is pinapakita lang natin ano yung ginagawa from the start hanggang doon sa pag-issue ng seal. Kung from the start is okay naman yung mga documents, complete siya, and upon presentation, wala naman silang nakitang deficiency, the evaluation committee is satisfied with the presentation, with the compensation plan, the marketing plan, wala silang nakita na hindi naaayon sa ating policy, tuloy-tuloy na po siya hanggang sa pag-issue ng seal. However, kung meron po siyang nakita na kailangan pa, ayun, pwede po siyang mag-require ng corrective actions hanggang sa ma-fulfill yung kanyang hinihingi or makikita siya na ito pala ay isang legitimate. Next, please. Sino nga ba si Evaluation Committee? Si Evaluation Committee is chaired by the Director of the Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau. Ang members niya is representative from the DTI Regional Operations Group or the DTI-ROG, Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau or FTEB, Legal Service or the LS, and a representative from the Direct Selling Association of the Philippines or the DSAP. The Evaluation Committee shall review all applications before approval by the Undersecretary for Consumer Protection Group. Next. Ano ba yung process? So tulad ng nabanggit ko kanina, magsasubmit muna sa SIPAP, then i-assess, then magpipresent yung applicant to the Evaluation Committee, o kaya yung magsisit si member of the Secretariat or yung Evaluation Committee and the marketing and sales representations of the company. Ang purpose nito is to validate the submitted compensation and marketing plan. And then they will recommend. Kailangan consensus yung kanilang decision. Pag hindi no consensus is reached, pwede siyang mag-call ng another meeting. Kailangan at least 4 members of the committee will endorse such approval of the application. And then, i-forward kay USEC ng Consumer Protection Group for his or her approval or disapproval. Next, please. Ano ba yung corrective action na nabanggit natin kanina? Companies that are required by the Evaluation Committee to submit a corrective action after the presentation of their marketing and compensation plan shall submit to the Evaluation Committee proof of corrective action or any required document within 7 working days from receipt of the notice. And the company may request for an extension in writing subject to the Evaluation Committee's approval. Ito po, kunwari, nag-present nga po yung company before the Evaluation Committee. Ngayon, mayroon po siya nakita doon, nung nag-discuss siya, nabanggit niya doon na meron silang redress mechanism o kaya meron silang return and exchange policy, wherein hindi nakita ng Evaluation Committee doon sa mga submitted documents. So pwede ngayon mag-request sa Evaluation Committee ng proof. So susulatan niya si applicant, and then the applicant shall submit the required documents within 7 working days from receipt of the notice. Kung sa tingin naman ni company is hindi niya masasubmit yung nire-require na additional documents within the 7 working days, pwede po siyang mag-request ng extension. Kailangan lang pong sumulat siya kay Evaluation Committee. And if approved yung kanyang request, kailangan niyang i-fulfill doon sa binigay na extension period. Okay po. Next. The processing time or the period for the issuance of the seal. A processing period of 20 working days after the presentation of the compensation and marketing plan or compliance with the evaluation committee's recommendation or submission of any required documents or the lapse of the period for corrective action is given to the evaluation committee up to the approval or disapproval of the application by the Undersecretary for the Consumer Protection Group. And their decision and the decision of the CPG Undersecretary shall be final. Ito po, kunwari, let's say for example, today is October 6. Nag-present po yung applicant company ng kanyang marketing and compensation plan. After presentation, the evaluation committee required additional documents. Susulat po siya kay applicant. Sinerve niya yung kanyang sulat is October 10. So from October 10, bibilang po tayo ng 7 days. 7 working days. Lahat po dito working days. 7 working days which ends on October 19. So kailangan po niyang masubmit yung additional documents na hinihingi by October 19. Pag di po na-receive ng evaluation committee by October 19, magbibilang na po siya ng 20 days. So yung 20 days, mag-e-end siya ng November 16. So by November 16, lalabas po ang decision ng evaluation committee. Dahil hindi po siya nag-submit ng additional required documents, malamang madi-disapprove po siya. Next, the Reporterial Requirements. MLM and DS companies granted the Seal of Legitimacy shall annually submit to the DTI-CPAB the following. Recount from the date of the award of the seal. So pag nagrantan po kayo ng seal, meron po tayong kailangang isubmit annually. Ito po, A to F. Copy of the latest General Information Sheet or list of officers, members, business address, and email addresses. Then information on the total registered, active, and newly registered distributors. Kasi di ba mabilis lang yung pagdagdag ng mga members. Kung 100 ngayon, baka bukas is 120 na. Okay po. Copy of the existing compensation plan and marketing plan. Bakit po hinihingi yung existing compensation plan and marketing plan? Related po kasi siya dito sa letter D. Kasi baka mamaya niyan, yung pina-approve nyo, yung sinubmit nyo nung before the granting of the seal is nag-iba na. So kailangan meron itong letter C and D submitted annually. Kasi kung magbabago po tayo, kailangan naaayon pa rin doon sa ating policy. Updated list of products offered for sale, and for regulated products, a copy of the registration, license, certification, or its equivalent from concerned regulatory government agency. Importante din po ito kasi dapat lahat ng binebenta po natin doon is merong certification or approval from the concerned regulatory government agencies. lalo na alam po namin karamihan sa mga produkto natin is more on mga multivitamins for the health o kaya yung mga cosmetics. Copy of the latest audited financial statements of the company duly received by the BIR. And failure to submit the aforecited documents, the company may be subject of an audit pursuant to Section 8 of 21-09. Next, please. Ito po, periodic and random audit. To ensure the continued compliance by the DS and MLM companies granted the seal, a periodic and random audit may be ordered by the evaluation committee. Next, please. Under revocation and cancellation of the DTI-Seal of Legitimacy. The DTI-Seal of Legitimacy or the seal can be revoked and the following grounds. Any breach of the oath of undertaking required under this order or under the DAO 21-09, revocation of FDA license if applicable, issuance of a disease order by the DTI, SEC or CDA. Final judgment against a company and a criminal complaint of syndicated estafa or estafa under Act Number 3815 or the Revised Penal Code, Presidential Decree Number 1689, or such other applicable laws, rules, and regulations which may now or hereafter be enacted or promulgated. And a company, the seal of which was revoked, may reapply for 1 year from the date of revocation. A subsequent revocation of the seal granted under paragraph shall forever bar the company and its officers from availing again of the seal, though they may form a new entity jointly as separately. So pag na-revoke ka na po minsan, kailangan po hindi na maulit kasi kung naulit po, pwede ka na pong hindi ka na po talaga makaka-avail or hindi ka na pwedeng mag-apply ng seal para sa seal. The seal can be cancelled on the following grounds. Dissolution of the business, whether voluntary or involuntary, cancellation or change in the registered name of business, or cancellation of the business registration and business permit. Next, please. Change in the marketing and compensation plan. Sabi ng company, kailangan natin baguhin ang compensation plan natin kasi to improve our kitaan or whatsoever reasons. So, pag nag-change po kayo ng marketing and compensation plan, kailangan sabihin po sa evaluation committee for their approval or approval of the CPG Undersecretary for the company to retain its seal. And the decision of the CPG Undersecretary shall be final. Next po. Yan, yung pag-cancel ng seal ay meron naman po siyang process. Meron po tayong dalawang klase ng cancellation, the voluntary cancellation and the compulsory cancellation. For voluntary cancellation, the company shall inform the evaluation committee through the submission of an authorized board resolution or an authorized letter of intent to cancel the issued seal of legitimacy and it shall be signed by the owner, the company president, or its authorized representative. For the compulsory cancellation, a company that is compulsorily dissolved, has changed or canceled its registered name, or which the business permit has been canceled or revoked, shall be notified by the evaluation committee that their seal of legitimacy shall be cancelled. Sa revocation naman, the evaluation committee through the DTI-CPAP shall send to the concerned company a notice to explain through a courier, registered, or electronic mail. At binibigyan na 7 working days from receipt of the NTE to file an explanation, answer, or proof of compliance. Next, please. Pag ginamit po natin yung seal for an unauthorized use, ay meron din naman po siyang sanctions. The company shall be held criminally liable under the applicable provisions of the revised penal code. The proprietor officers of companies and distributors. Next, please. The service of notice. Lahat po ng mga communications regarding the seal ay ipapadala po doon sa email address na binigay nyo doon sa application form. Kaya po napaka-importante na yung inyong email address doon is yun talaga yung official email na gagamitin natin sa lahat ng transaction natin sa seal. Meron po kasi kami isang natanggap na application, medyo nahirapan kami kasi hindi po niya binigay yung email address niya. So, kailangan pa po namin ipadala sa kanyang office mismo. Next, please. Public advisory. The DTI-CPAP shall regularly release a public advisory on companies, the seal of legitimacy of which was cancelled or revoked, for the information and guidance of the public. At ang mga na-revoke at na-cancel ang seal ay mariretain sa database ng SOL system. Yung ginagawa po nating system ngayon is ganito po yung itsura. So, dyan po, ilalagay po natin kung sino yung mga na-revoke, na-cancel, sino po yung mga nag-grantan ng seal. At ina-encourage po natin ang mga MLM and DS companies na mag-apply kasi po, iba kasi talaga pag ikaw ay holder ng seal, parang it's a trust and confidence. Kasi pag nakita mo yon, sabihin mo, ay dumaan ito sa proseso. At yan po. Thank you sa pakikinig and hopefully meron po tayong nakuhang information. Thank you.
Thank you po, Ms. Carl, for your informative presentation. And now for our second speaker, we have Ms. Jill Elicanio Tan. She is currently the Executive Vice President of their family-owned direct selling company, Empower Marketing Incorporated, having literally grown up in the industry. Her earliest exposure includes travel all over the Philippines for direct selling events. She specializes in marketing but also likes to keep abreast of technological advances applicable to her industry. Her background includes a master's degree in marketing from the University of Edinburgh in Scotland and years of experience in events management and direct selling. One of her advocacies is to help the direct selling industry grow through proper education using her positive attitude and tireless energy. Let us give our warm welcome to Ms. Jill. Good morning po, Miss Jill. The virtual floor is now yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today. And I'm very honored to speak before, kahit virtually, no, in front of so many honored guests. I will try to present no our DSAP 8-point test as well as I can. Although the the two previous speakers before me napakagaling na eh. So baka redundant na yung sasabihin ko. But anyway, let's begin. Um, Let me share my screen. Yeah. Okay. So good morning again, everybody. My name is Jill Tan. I'm a member. I'm a board member of the Direct Selling Association of the Philippines, and hopefully, I can impart to you some knowledge today, especially with regard to legitimate direct selling. Okay, so we're here today to talk about the 8-point test. The 8-point test is something that was crafted by the DSAT to help identify pyramid scams. And it is always advisable. It's something that we tell all of our members, and of course, you should also, adapt that you have to check any prospective company against the 8-point test. And may isa pa yan actually. If you really feel that it's too good to be true, if parang feeling mo, wow, kikita kayo ng malaki kaagad, it's normally too good to be true talaga. Diba? So anyway, the answers to our 8-point test should all be yes. Hindi pwedeng 7 yes, 1 no, or may maybe, or pwede na, parang ganyan. Diba? Hindi tayo pwedeng ganon. Because, syempre, when you're talking about direct selling, when you're talking about, having a business like this, syempre, it involves hard-earned money ng consumers, ng tao, ng people who want to do the business in a legitimate manner. I think this was discussed, a little earlier, pero again, I'll just leave it on the screen for a short while. Because of course, this is what we are all protecting against. We do not want anybody to be a victim of chain distribution plans. Alam ko, medyo sirang-sira ang name ng multi-level, direct selling, because of so many, I call them scam companies or fly-by-night companies. Bakit fly-by-night? Kasi tonight, nandito sila, ni-recruit ka. Tomorrow, sarado na yung company. That's what I call them. Anyway, a pyramid scheme is when a recruit is made to pay an entry fee for the opportunity to receive benefits primarily from recruitment. So, ang common yan na maririnig nyo, enter ka na ngayon habang maaga para madaling kumita. Or pagpasok mo, meron ka agad 31 heads, 32 heads. Normally, companies na ganon, they rely solely or mostly on recruitment, which for any direct selling company is not sustainable. Which means may hangganan yung buhay ng company na yon. There are several types of compensation plans, comp plans, no? Just to give you a little bit of a background. Kasi syempre nga, when someone says direct selling, MLM, ganyan, parang it all blends, no, into each other. But really, we have several kinds. These are all considered direct selling. So meron tayong uni-level, meron tayong stair-step na breakaway. Commonly ito yung MLM po. Merong matrix. Yun yung parang may isi-fill kang slots sa board, parang ganyan. Binary, yan po, very controversial, but also can be used for good. Hybrid, syempre, if you use any of, parang multiple of these compensation plans in one company. Okay. Just talking about the structure, kasi sometimes they'll tell you, dito, unlimited. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng unlimited? Kasi pag uni-level, ang width mo, pwede kang mag-recruit, madami, direct. Pero, yung how many levels ang binabayaran ng company, siya, limited. Minsan, 3 levels, minsan 5 levels, ganyan po. Pag stair-step, usually yan, yung width mo is the same, stair-step breakaway. Pero, at the end of the day, yung depth mo rin po is limited. Kasi, almost impossible din naman na talagang merong unlimited na totoo. You'll see even if The binary system, nakasulat dyan, depth is unlimited. Totoo po, the depth is truly unlimited. But the way you earn, syempre po, may mga safety measures ang company. Diba po? Okay, ito na po yung ating controversial, what we call the binary. Bakit po siya parang minsan nalalagay sa palaging parang scam ng companies? Madali po kasi gamitin yung binary system na ang ginagamit po nila manner of recruitment lang po. So, pag pumasok po ang tao sa ang sasabihin nila, recruit ka lang left and right. Ito po 'yon, yung A and B, di ba po? Tapos yung si A and B mo, pa-recruit mo lang din ng A and B niya. So, parang dalawa lang ng dalawa. And in short, ito yung tool na nagagamit po ng pyramiding companies to secure investments. Kasi po, ang nangyayari po dyan, ang binibenta po nila, yung position mo sa company. Ang gusto lang po nila magpasok ka na magpasok ng tao. Ang hindi po nila hinahabol is yung pagbenta ng legitimate na products. This is parang a short depiction of our 8-point test. We'll go through it one by one. No? So number 1, pinaka-important, is there a product? Titingnan nyo po, I saw this earlier dun sa video nyo eh. Yung titingnan nyo po yung price ng product. Kasi po, syempre, totoo po yan. If the price is sobrang mataas, di ba po, mapapaisip po kayo, bakit ganyan? Di ba, kunyari, shampoo lang siya, tapos 2,000 siya. Medyo mag-iisip po kayo, bakit po naman ganun kamahal, di ba? Titingnan nyo po yung legitimacy ng product. Is it made by a legitimate manufacturing company? Can you really market it? Or can you really use it? Usable ba po siya? Legal ba siya? Is it registered, the company, registered ba ang products nila, say sa FDA? Meron bang food registration? Or meron ba siyang product registration? And then, of course, is the company willing to have a buyback or a refund return policy on their products? Meaning, secure sila dun sa quality ng products nila. Number 2, ito yung earlier what we talked about, are commissions paid on sale of products and not on registration fees. So the answer should be yes, dapat on products. So even with binary companies, dapat po ang titingnan nyo, ang binabalanse po ng left and right is hindi po ulo-ulo, hindi po recruit. Dapat po volume of sales ng group nyo sa left and volume of sales ng group sa right. Because direct selling companies and multi-level marketing companies are just an alternate way to distribute products. It's another way, di ba po, may ahente po na nagbebenta ng produkto. Hindi po siya available sa department store. Hindi rin po siya normally available sa other retail outlets. So, yun po ang direct selling. So, dapat po, the agents, they earn because nakabenta sila ng produkto. Not because po, pasok sila ng pasok ng tao dun sa kumpanya nila. Ito po, enter equal with the opportunity to advance through hard work. Kasi lahat po kayo, pag nag-enter kayo sa company, pag naging member, lahat po kayo member. Kung isa po, mas magaling magbenta, syempre po, mas tataas ang rank niya. Mas lalaki ang kita niya. Pero yung isa, medyo relax lang siya, konti-konti lang, kumikita pa rin po siya, pero not as fast as yung kasabay niyang pumasok. Di ba po? Number 3, is the intent to sell a product, not a position. Ito na nga po. Again, as I told you, any company na sinabing multi-header, meron kayong 3 heads, 7 heads, at 31 heads, they are securing investments. Hindi po yun networking. Especially po, parang lalo yung pinapa-upsell kayo, pumasok na kayo dun sa 31 heads para ganito po kaagad yung ROI nyo. Hindi naman po investment po per se ang pinasok nyo sa company. Nag-put up po kayo, kung bumili po kayo ng product sa company at nag-member po kayo, what you put up po is capital. Para po kayo nagtayo po ng, kunyari po, sari-sari store. Diba yung unang bilhin nyo po ng products, capital po yun. Capital expenditure. Hindi po kayo nag-invest. Kasi direct selling companies cannot sell investment. Dapat po sa investment company po kayo, di ba po? So yung profit po ng member, yung earnings ng member should be from product sales. And always po, there should be an option na pwede kayong mag-member sa company or pwede kayong mag-start to sell or purchase products from the company at a low cost. Hindi ho mataas ang membership fee or mataas ang pasok. Medyo red flag po yun if yun ang requirement. Is there no direct correlation between the number of recruits and compensation? Yun na nga po. Again, it's an extension of the earlier. When you hear keywords like investment, multiple heads, startup fee, ROI, mga ganyan po, those are all those are all tools na ginagamit po ng mga pyramid schemes so that they can get your money kasi hindi po sustainable talaga. What they're doing po kasi is parang nagbabakit po sila ng pera eh. Nagpapapasok po sila ng maraming entry, then babayaran po nila yung unang kumikita po. Pero syempre, hindi po sustainable. Pag nandun na po kayo sa medyo huli at na-convince pa rin kayong mag-join, ano na pong ipagbabayad nila sa inyo? Kaya po pyramid po, di ba po? So dapat po, ang titingnan nyo is ang compensation plan ba ng company is ang i-reward sa inyo is based on product sales. And dapat po, again, going back to number 1, dapat po valid ang product, legitimate po ang product. So number 5, if recruitment were to be stopped today, would the participants still make money? Dapat po, yes. Kasi po, again, product sales. To give you an example po, in our own company, Empower Marketing, nung beginning po ng pandemic, halos talagang bumagsak po ang sponsorship. Kasi po, syempre, hindi tayo makalabas. So, yung mga networker po namin, hindi makapag-training, hindi makapag-recruit, hindi makapag-ano. However, tuloy-tuloy po ang kita nila. Kasi po, syempre, nung time ng pandemic, ang products po namin are food supplement, vitamins, parang ganyan po. Nakapagbenta pa rin po sila because may on-hand silang products and they knew, syempre, at that time, all the more health is very important. So I really encourage you, before joining or looking at direct selling companies, look at legitimacy of the company, of the product, and how they use the compensation plan. Anyway po, if you have any questions, I'm sure you can always reach out to the DTI. You can also reach out to the DSAP. Meron po kaming Facebook page, meron din po kaming email. So we will always do our best to help answer, any questions or clarifications that meron po ang consumers. Number 6, is there a reasonable return policy? Now, meron na po tayong law. I also saw in the video earlier, diniscuss po yan po, diba po? So, bawal po yung no return, no exchange. If the company will not allow that, even if, lalo na po, damaged yung product, pagbukas nyo po nung sachet, walang laman. Nako, red flag po talaga yan. You have to know this before po kayo bumili. I-check nyo po. This is required to be placed on their websites and on other collaterals and marketing materials po ng companies. Number 7. So this is related to our number 1. Do products have fair market value? So again, number 1, you have to check. First of all, ang products ba nila are tangible or intangible? Minsan po kasi, pag enter nyo sa company, sasabihin nila, okay, our membership fee or our entry fee is, let's say, 10,000. But 5,000 of that is for training services. So kaagad, tatanungin niyo po, binayaran ko po yung training para ma-learn ko yung marketing plan nyo? That is not po a valid, product. And that does not have fair market value. Titingnan niyo po yung quality ng products. Again, fair market valuation. You gather information. Tingnan niyo po, comparable products. Look at other products in the market, direct selling, retail, compare. And then, again, you can consult a professional, which is, you can check with the DTI if the company has a seal of legitimacy, or you can check if the company is a member of DSAP. Because I'll tell you po, napaka-strict po ng DSAP in accepting members. Mahaba po ang proseso. to become a DSAP member company. Kasi talaga pong we check the marketing plan, we check the products, they undergo not just one but several interviews po to make sure that they comply with our requirements. Last part, is there a compelling reason to buy? Related to product po. Is the value of the product worth it? Does it have actual benefits? Many times po you will see pyramiding companies, they reuse products from, other companies, they rebrand lang po and then they mark up ng mas mataas na presyo so that they can use this to recruit people and they overprice their membership fee or their registration fee, their startup package. So the income potential should really be there in the product sales. Dapat makikita niyo po, mag-feel niyo po. That's why nga po, going back to an earlier point, dapat po merong available na option na low startup cost para po makatry rin po muna kayo ng produkto to make sure that you are with the right company, to make sure that you are happy with the products. So basically, that's our presentation for the day. I hope that medyo naliwanagan tayo dun sa ating 8-point test, and I hope this is something that is very applicable sa inyo. Are we taking questions ba?
Yan. Thank you po, Miss Jill, for your very enlightening presentation. So, ugaliing i-check ang isang kumpanya gamit ang 8-point test bago bumili ng produkto o sumali upang maiwasan ang mga red flag nito at maiwasang ma-scam. So, now, before we proceed with our question and answer portion, for the question and answer portion, we will also be joined by our Assistant Director to answer your questions. Let me inform you first na makakapag-download kayo ng copy ng presentation materials after you accomplish the client satisfaction form that will be posted in the chat box section. Short reminder lang po sa ating participants to stay muted unless you are addressing the speakers and moderator directly. So, para mas maging interactive ang ating question and answer portion, we encourage everyone to click the raise hand button so we can call you to ask directly to our speakers. Pwede rin pong isend ang inyong questions sa ating chat box. Okay po, for our first question, from DTI Batangas, Mr. Marvin Garcia. So sa mga company po with multiple branches, paano po ang pag-apply ng DTI Seal of Legitimacy? One-time apply, meaning kapag na-revoke or na-cancel, damay po ba lahat ng branches? Nationwide or per branch ang application po?
Let me answer that question, Robert. Sa Seal of Legitimacy po kasi ang tinitingnan natin ay yung compensation and marketing plan, yung validity niya. So it follows na kung ano yung compensation and marketing plan ng company mismo, it applicable siya sa lahat ng branches, whether ilan man ang branches niya nationwide. No? So one-time application lang po. And yun nga, kapag ka na-revoke na or na-cancel yung seal, yung buong company, wala na yung seal niya. No? So, hindi siya per branch.
Thank you po, ADJ. Follow-up question po from Sir Marvin Garcia. Mandatory po ba ang pag-apply ng DTI Seal of Legitimacy? Ano po possible fine, penalty o consequence kapag ng pag-ooperate without the seal?
As I said earlier, no, voluntary siya. No? It's like our Bagwis program. So, itong seal na to kapag nakita ng public, meron silang confidence na mag-enter into partnership with them at magbenta ng produkto ng company na to. No? So, it's not mandatory. Walang fine or penalty kung sakali mang walang seal yung company. But, of course, if that company has no seal or kaya hindi siya member ng DSAP, that's a red flag, no? Kasi madali lang naman ang mag-apply, as I said earlier, kung ano man yung mga business documents na nire-require sa isang legitimate na company, yun lang din naman yung hinihingi natin. And then also, a presentation on the compensation and marketing plan.
Thank you po, AB. Next question po Who can join DSAP? How to join DSAP? Miss Jill?
Hi. Yes. While any direct selling and multi-level marketing company, any direct selling company can apply to be a member of the DSAP, you can contact our DSAP secretariat. That's at info@dsap.ph. You can check our Facebook page. You can send them an inquiry via email, and then Marie, our DSAP administrator, will send you a list of requirements. Normally, it will be yung company papers, the business registration, everything, and as well as a copy of your marketing plan. Yun yung initial stage. And the next stage will be called for an interview, possibly 2 or 3 interviews yan before the final decision.
Thank you po, Miss Jill. Next question po. How do you ensure that the documents submitted to the evaluation committee are updated and true? Nag-a-appear ba before the committee ang company owners during the evaluation process? Check.
Kasi meron silang meron silang undertaking na kasama when they submit these documents. So yung authorized officer or yung company officer attests to the veracity and to the correctness and to the legitimacy of the documents that they submitted to us.
Okay po. Next question po from Miss Gigi Recto. How soon do we receive notification or update on our application for DTI-Seal of Legitimacy?
Ito on this one, kasi po itong na-sign kasi yung DAO last year, but then nagkaroon lang siya ng mga amendments. So kaya medyo late na kami nakapag-start nitong process, no? But you can always email po si Carl or yung aming email address, si pab@dti.gov.ph to check on the status of your application.
Thank you po. Question po for Miss Jill. Can I report or file complaints against pyramiding scams to DSAP? What is this DSAP's redress mechanism?
Okay, if what do you call this? If it's a DSAP member company, of course we can take a warning and we can actually revoke their membership with a DSA. If they are not a DSA member company, they're not a DSAP member company, you can report to us. But we also suggest that you report them to DTI. You can file the proper complaint with the DTI. You can also, depending on the nature of your complaint, file a complaint with the SEC.
Thank you po, Ms. Jill.
Dagdagan ko lang yung sinabi ni Ms. Jill, no? So kung meron nga po kayong complaints at you don't know if it's a member of the DSAP or not, you can always email consumercare@dti.gov.ph and then attach nyo lang po yung mga supporting documents and then your a narration of your complaint. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Question po, related po dun sa question kanina. Where can I access the link, the list of SOL awardees? May validity ba ang Seal of Legitimacy awarded to the company? Thank you po.
Currently, we're still finalizing the system, so we will be awarding our Seal of Legitimacy grantees this Consumer Welfare Month. So abangan nyo yan, no? So yun lang muna siguro.
Thank you po. Question po for Ms. Jill. How can consumers protect themselves from pyramiding scams aside from habitually doing the 8-point test?
Well, I think at the end of the day, again, yung rule of thumb ko, as I said in the first part, no? If the offer is too good to be true, if they're telling you that the earning is too good to be true, you also need to learn to trust your instinct. But again, at the end of the day, you also need to look at, again, the legitimacy of the company. Check if the company is properly registered, SEC, if the products are properly registered with the FDA. There are many ways, to check the legitimacy of a company. But also, again, we can always assist you if you need, if you have any questions. Just reach out to us in DSAP.
Thank you po. Question po for Che. What is the importance of SOL? What prompted DTI to implement this program?
Yung SOL, think of it as parang a distinguishing mark, no? Na madi-distinguish mo yung legitimate na multi-level marketing and direct selling from those with questionable practices. So Yun siya kasi minsan 'di ba sa 8-point test, kung hindi ka pa masyadong sanay, medyo mag-aano ka, mag-iisip ka, yes, no, maybe, 'di ba ganyan. Pero kapag meron na siyang seal, it's like saying that all of these 8 questions, yes ang sagot. So yun siya. So it just makes it easier for the consumer or the general public na malaman kung ito bang company na i-engage ko ay legitimate ang kanyang compensation and marketing plan. Yun. And then what prompted, of course, because we have a tie-up with DTI, with DSAP as early as 2018, ano, and even before noong 2002 pa, nag-start na yung partnership ng DTI and DSAP. Yun. And of course, it's a mandate kasi na nasa Consumer Act na kailangan natin protektahan yung mga consumers from chain distribution plans and pyramiding scams.
Okay po. Question po for both Ms. Jill and PDChe. How many complaints we filed and received? How many were resolved? What is the resolution rate? Ms. Jill, ikaw po.
I'll go ahead kasi medyo short yung sa akin. Actually, the DSAP has not received any formal complaints in the past couple of years against DSAP member companies. We have had some inquiries if companies are members because we have complaints na they're saying that they are company members but they are not. So we always refer these then to the DTI.
Thank you po, Ms. Jill. PDChe.
Sandali lang. I don't have the exact figures, no, kasi yung consumer complaints in general, it ranges at about 15,000 complaints a year, no, and I don't have the breakdown right now if the complaint is against pyramiding, no. But what I do have here, meron siguro dito since 2018, mga 11 na na-receive natin na complaints alleging pyramiding. Some were endorsed to SEC kasi siguro dahil investment, walang product na involved. Or some are endorsed to the NBI and others are still pending, no? So yun.
Thank you po. Question po for Ms. Jill. Are there members of DSAP which involve tourism products? In particular, it involves hotel accommodations in specific hotels in tourist spots.
Not to my knowledge, although we are 37 member companies, so parang medyo difficult to memorize lahat ng products. But to my knowledge, no. Right now, we're not offering, none of our member companies have that. But please double check dun sa list of members namin. Because, yun na nga, 37 member companies, sobrang dami.
Okay, thank you po, Ms. Jill. Is it possible to complain a vape shop operating within 100 meters from a school? Allegedly po kasi meron daw siyang mayor's permit and SOL.
Teka lang, dalawang ano to. Magkaiba yung sa vape, no, at saka yung sa SOL. Yung sa vape, ang binabiolate nitong company na to is the vape law. At hindi kami nag-i-issue ng SOL specifically for selling vape. Ang ini-issue natin na SOL is for those companies that are engaged in multi-level and direct selling marketing, no. So hindi magkaiba ito, no. So please do file a complaint sa consumercare@dti.gov.ph.
Thank you po.
For both yung sa selling within 100 meters at saka yung sa SOL. Thank you.
Okay po. Question to both daw po. Do complaints need to be notarized and in a specific form?
Siguro, sige.
Yeah, go ahead. Hindi, go ahead.
Sa DTI po, no, it doesn't have to be notarized. Just an email, just a brief narration.
Same also. With us, it's just an email with a supporting document.
Thank you po. Next question po. Aside from the tips from the 8-point test, what are the red flags practices of a company na pwede po maging pyramiding scams? Ms. Jill?
What aside? Sorry again. Can you repeat the last part? Nag-choppy.
Sorry po. Ito po. Aside from the tips from the 8-point test,
Okay.
what are the red flags practices of a company na pwede po maging pyramiding scams?
sorry, it's well, actually very contained naman dun sa 8-point test. But really, again, you need to look at the legitimacy of the company, look at the people behind it, look at the products that they offer, and look at the marketing plan. If the stress is too much hard sell on you to recruit and to sponsor for you to earn, then that immediately is already a red flag.
Thank you po, Ms. Jill. Question po for AB Che. What businesses or sector are required to apply for SOL? How it differs with our bagwis?
Opo. So, ulitin ko lang ulit. Yung SOL is not mandatory. So, it is voluntary on the part of the company. And then, yung sa SOL kasi, if ang compensation and marketing plan niya is multi-level marketing and direct selling, so yun, pwede silang mag-apply for SOL. So, how does it differ from our bagwis? No, ang bagwis kasi is for retailers. It's testing na yung kanilang practices complies with the may warranty, yung produkto mo, tapos hindi sila nag-engage into deceptive and unfair, unconscionable marketing or practices, sales practices. So yun. So itong SOL is really specialized for companies that are engaged in direct selling and multi-level marketing.
Thank you po, Hidiche. A question po for Ms. Jill or DTI daw po. Would like to clarify if multi-level marketing companies or MLM schemes are pyramiding schemes.
If MLMs are pyramiding schemes, yun yung tanong?
Yes po.
Okay. Okay, let me clarify first. MLMs are a form of direct selling. Now, it is frequently used, it can be used in a pyramiding scheme, but not all are pyramiding schemes. That's why the 8-point test was crafted to help you discern which is a legitimate direct selling slash MLM slash binary slash whatever company versus the pyramiding schemes. So that's the that's the difference.
Thank you.
Tama si Ms. Jill. No? So, yun, hindi lahat ng MLM ay pyramiding. Yun.
Okay po. Hindi meron pong follow-up question po. Can seal of legitimacy be issued to vape businesses?
If ang pagbebenta niya ng vape ay via direct selling or multi-level marketing, then yes, they can apply for the seal of legitimacy.
Okay po. Next question po. Wait lang po. Ito po. For ED po. Can complaints be a ground for seal revocation or cancellation? If the seal is revoked or cancelled, can they apply again after the complaints have been resolved?
Yung sa complaints po kasi, it depends on the complaint. So, pwede kasing may complaint ka about warranty o kaya about unfair sales practices or unconscionable sales practice. No? But the complaint, kasi meron kasing periodic random audit yung Seal of Legitimacy Evaluation Committee. So, it can be a basis para tingnan dun sa audit kung may nababiolate ba dun sa rules dun sa Seal of Legitimacy.
Thank you po, EDJ. Again po, para po mas maging interactive ang ating question and answer portion, we encourage everyone to click the raise hand button so we can call you to ask directly po to our speakers. Pwede nyo rin po isend ang inyong questions sa ating chat box. Next question po for Ms. Jill. May self-regulating mechanisms po ba ang DSAP in monitoring or ensuring that all its company members are compliant with government laws? Pwede ba sila ma-blacklist from DSAP kapag may violations or complaints against the company? Thank you po.
Yes, we have a compliance committee actually that checks every year. We also check on the possible changes. Kasi syempre, when a company applies to the DSAP, it is approved based on the marketing plan that they presented and that we verified that they implement. Syempre, every year we also check if they have any changes to their marketing plan, and if the DSAP finds that there's something that they are implementing that goes against our the requirements that were set forth, then yes, we do call their attention, and they are asked to either revise, or they will have to they will have to be removed from the DSAP list of member companies. But we previously, not in the past 2 years, but we also have received complaints from other member companies or other distributors about member companies with questionable practices, and every single time we have addressed naman the company properly.
Thank you po, Ms. Jill. Next question po for AD Che. Can you enlighten us again on the factors in evaluating marketing and compensation plan? Pwede bang mag-deny ang application ng company kahit legitimate business naman sila?
Yung factors on evaluating the compensation and marketing plan, it's really patterned after the DSAP's 8-point test. And then, ano nga yung second na question? Pwede bang ma-deny kahit legitimate business siya? Pwede siyang ma-deny. Kasi magkaiba naman yung tinitignan dun sa, let's say, sa FDA at saka yung sa, let's say, sa local government, magkaiba yung tinitignan na factors eh. So, yeah.
Okay po. Next question po. Do we have already the list of companies that have already seal of legitimacy? For easy reference to consumers, also may certificate po bang binibigay sa mga companies if they are already compliant to SOL na naka-paskil ito sa mga offices nila?
Inaayos lang namin yung system, so very soon siguro maipopost na namin yan sa DTI website. And yung seal, yung pinakita kanyo ni Carl, although siguro hindi lang masyadong na-explain or medyo, yung seal, ibibigay talaga natin yan sa mga companies, and it can be displayed sa mga branches nila at sa lahat ng kanilang outlets. Also in their social media pages and in their mga marketing materials nila. So, yun.
Follow-up question po, if it's a legitimate business but its application for seal of legitimacy got denied, what's the bearing po?
Oo, kung ma-deny siya, well, it's just saying na hindi sila pumasa, no? But it's not saying that it's pyramiding naman. So, pag na-deny, pwede pa rin naman silang mag-reapply. So, wala namang problema kung sakali.
Thank you po.
Let me add lang din pala dun sa seal, no? Yung seal kasi na ibibigay natin, meron siyang security feature. So, meron siyang QR code. And then, kapag in-scan nung consumer or nung public yung QR code, it should direct you to the DTI website. And what you should see in the DTI website are the details that are also in the seal. Dapat pareho. Yung name ng company, kung kailan nag-grant yung seal, yun, ganun siya.
Thank you po, AD. Time check po, 11:24 a.m. pa lang po. If you have questions po, pakisend po sa ating chat box, or pwede niyo po i-click yung raise hand button po natin. Next question po, ito po. Who should be responsible in making companies who practice pyramiding scams liable?
Who should be responsible for
making companies who practice pyramiding scams liable daw po?
Kasi magkakaiba yung jurisdiction natin, let's say for SEC, kapag talagang investment lang, walang produkto na involved, SEC ang may jurisdiction dyan. But if merong product or consumer product involved, it's the DTI that has jurisdiction over such practices.
Ms. Jill, meron po ba kayong gusto i-add po?
I was going to say nga na, well, actually, parang we've seen already, diba, that SEC has already released yung mga cease and desist against some companies parang who were, they said that we're doing parang investment schemes already. So, it really, again, like they said, it really depends on the scope of the complaint, I think.
Thank you po. Next question po. How much is the application fee for the SOL?
It's free. It's free po.
Okay po. Wala po siyang bayad. Libre lang po. So, next question po. What if the company is from US? who will file for the SOL if we are only an independent distributor?
Ang dapat po mag-file niyan yung yung authorized company representative, no? So kasi kailangan namin doon yung articles of incorporation. So the articles should reflect sino ba yung company owner, tsaka sino yung mga officers noon. So dapat sila. It's not the independent distributor.
Thank you po, Che. Question po from Mr. Fidelino. Can we include a provision in the Seal of Legitimacy where a direct selling distributor is prohibited to sell direct selling company products on e-commerce platforms like Lazada or Shopee to protect our consumers from bogus products, no FDA registration, smuggled products, and others?
Hindi naman po natin parang piniprevent yung mga direct selling companies to sell online but kung walang FDA registration, syempre bawal 'yun. So 'yun ibang naman 'yun, ibang aspeto naman 'yun. And also yung mga grantees kasi ng seal, they also submit to us yung kanilang FDA registration. Hindi pwede na yung kanilang produkto hindi registered sa FDA if they're selling those products that require FDA registration.
Ms. Jill, may gusto po ba kayo i-add?
Actually, hello Sir Boyet. Yung nag-ask ng question is a member of the board of directors of the SAP as well. Actually, ma'am, kasi our concern is, we find that as direct sellers, as legitimate direct selling companies, we find that a lot of distributors sell undercut prices on these, on these platforms. So that's one. The second is there are fake products of our companies on this platform, and we wanted to know how can we address where is the proper venue for us to complain naman that the platform allows the sale of such fraudulent or fake products or black market products.
Yung mga fake products, pwede rin po sa amin sa consumer care at dti.gov.ph kasi pwede natin yan i-bring sa let's say sa mga platforms na tanggalin nyo to because this is fake or this is wala siyang FDA registration, pwede po yan.
Thank you. Ako na rin yung nag-participate sa Q&A.
Thank you po.
Okay lang po.
Next question po from DTI Pangasinan. Are we going to publish advisories against companies operating in the guise of a legitimate MLM or direct selling where in fact they are dubious investment scam companies? Or si SEC pa rin po dahil ang investments ay sakop ng Securities and Exchange Commission or SRC?
Kung investment company talaga siya, hindi siya yung direct selling and multi-level marketing. So si SEC pa rin yun, But if, let's say, sinasabi nila MLM sila, direct selling sila, but in fact, it's pyramiding, and we really, meron talaga tayong may case against them and it's found out na talagang they're engaged into pyramiding, that's the time we will issue the advisory. Of course, to properly protect our consumers then.
Thank you po. Next question po. Do you have list of known illegal pyramid scheme companies here in the Philippines po? Ms. Jill or Che?
I think, the DSAP doesn't maintain a list, but I'm pretty sure you can secure already a list of the companies that were given cease and desist orders from the SEC. And I'm sure there's also a list of complaints that were filed through the DTI that maybe the consumers can access.
Yep, tama si Ms. Gian.
SEC Helen, meron po ata kayong gustong sabihin. Pwede po kayo mag-unmute po, Miss Helen. Good morning po.
Hello po, good morning. Yes, from SEC Baguio Extension Office po ako. Yung sa question po regarding doon sa list of SEC advisories na na-issue na, including the cease and desist orders, can be found po sa aming SEC website. Nandun po ang complete list ng mga naimbestigahan po nating mga investment scams na napatunayan po natin na wala po silang license to solicit investments from the public. So meron po tayong list sa SEC website. I-send ko po yung link through the chat box para po doon sa mga gustong makabasa. Thank you po.
Thank you po, Miss Helen.
Thank you.
Time check po, it's already 11:32 a.m. Last call na po sa mga gusto pang magtanong from the consumer or private sector. Otherwise, we will close the session na po. Ayun po, maraming salamat po sa mga nagtanong at mga...
JR, Robert, meron pa dito from Sir Heriberto.
Actually, hindi nag-raisean po si Sir Heriberto.
Sige.
Sir, pwede po kayo mag-unmute po. Good morning po, sir.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello po, sir. Morning po.
Ang tanong ko lang po kay Director Carbonell, how are our the duly accredited consumer organizations ng DTI involved in this process or in this matter? Thank you.
Opo. As our accredited consumer organization, you can always file a complaint naman kung may nakita kayo, or you can always inquire from the DTI if ito bang company na to is engaged in legitimate direct selling or multi-level marketing. Of course, we also welcome po your suggestion, if any, kung meron po kayong gustong participation dito sa Seal of Legitimacy. You can email us at cpab@dti.gov.ph po.
Thank you po, ABJ. Maraming salamat po sa mga nagtanong sa ating speakers. Again, thank you po sa ating speakers for answering all the questions. Lastly, would you like to give a parting message to our participants? Ms. Jill?
Thank you so much for having me again today. It's been an honor to speak. I hope that I was able to impart, a little bit of extra knowledge and, assistance to everyone who needs, more knowledge about, pyramiding schemes and about our 8-point test. I'd like to say a special thank you to Director Che because I know she's been a staunch supporter and she's been working with the DSAP very closely with on our projects. Thank you again.
Thank you po. How about po from the Assistant Director Cheryl Carbonell po?
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Jill. Salamat po ng marami for being our guest speaker for today, and also to Sir Joey, maraming salamat po. Ako lang from being a consumer, ang akin lang mag-ingat po tayo, kasi hard-earned money natin ito, so as I always say, wag tayong marupok, mag-isip tayo if you want to invest or to join these companies, and then of course hanapin niyo po yung DTI-Seal of Legitimacy, and then also kung member ba ng DSAP. Sabi nga ni Ms. Jill kanina, 37 companies lang naman yan. At ang dinidiling hanapin, dsap.ph, andun po yung listahan nila. So yun, again, maraming salamat po and good morning everyone.
Thank you po, ADJ and Ms. Jill. Muli, maraming salamat sa ating very capable speakers ngayong umaga. At mula po sa Consumer Protection Group, maraming salamat po sa ating participants na nakasama natin ngayong umaga. Huwag niyo pong kalimutang samahan kaming muli sa aming susunod na webinars. Our announcements will be posted in our social media accounts. For more updates, please like, follow, and subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube account. That's DTI Consumer Care and DTI Philippines. Thank you po and stay safe everyone.